Welcome to another video on my 2008 BMW E92 335i. In this video, we're going to continue to cosmetically refresh this car to bring back those years that have gone away over the last 18 of them. Let's start with the wheels. Say hello to Apex EC7 flow formed rims. Now I do feel a little bit reluctant going down the road of getting aftermarket wheels. With these, the main thing I'm going for here is the strength. I think they're gonna fit really well on this car. Tomorrow morning, we're gonna take them to the tire shop so they can scratch them. So yeah, this should be good. What's up, dog? What you want? Oh my God, you slobbered everywhere. It's been 3 weeks since that last clip, and now you're gonna listen to me rant. So I mentioned I was gonna take the tires into the tire shop to get them mounted and balanced. I did just that. I decided to go to a tire shop that's the Porsche Club here in my city recommended. I've always been skeptical of tire shops, but they were adamant that they did good work. So I trusted their judgment and I went to this tire shop. When I arrived there, I told them, hey, these are staggered wheels. The fronts are smaller than the rear. Please mount the tires correctly. Put the rears on the rear and the fronts on the front. And they said, oh yeah, we got this. We got our best guy on it. He's gonna do it. So I dropped the tires off and I left. Came back when they were done. I paid. Cost me $212 to get them mounted and balanced. And immediately upon looking at the tires, I noticed they were mounted incorrectly. They put the rear tires on the front and the front tires on the rear. I kid you not. Anyway, obviously I told them this was bollocks and I sent it back and I told them to do it again. So they did it again. Now, upon doing it again, they of course rushed because they're all concerned about getting me out of here now. And when they remounted the tires, they scratched the rims. They scratched my brand new Apexes that they just ruined. Anyway, at least they were mounted correctly now. And at this point I figured, hey, okay, they're scratched, whatever, but at least the tires are on the rims, balanced correctly, and ready to be put on the car. So I took them home and I mounted them on the car. Now, admittedly, this part was my fault. Upon putting the rear wheels on, I realized that I had bought the wrong offset for my vehicle. I bought an offset that was too aggressive. A big shout out to Beamer World, because upon making this stupid mistake, they allowed me to send back the old rims even after tires had been mounted on them, and they sent me back brand new rims with the correct offset. Pretty incredible. Excellent customer service from them. But anyway, once I realized that those wheels were incorrect, I said, okay, how about, all right, let's test out the front wheels. Let's put the front wheels on and just drive with the rear wheels OEM just to see if the balancing issue or the fact that the OEM wheels on the front of the car are bent. I wanted to see if that had been fixed. So I mounted the new Apexes on there and just left the OEMs on the rear and took it out on the highway. Well, upon getting on the highway, I was getting some shaky shakerson in the steering wheel. Lovely. So of course, not only did they scratch my rims and mount them incorrectly, they also balanced them wrong. I went back there and I demanded them give me a refund for all of the bollocks they had caused me. And they only gave me a partial refund. Thank you, tire discounters, for nothing. After that whole fiasco, after Beamer World had sent me the new rear rims, I sent them to a professional shop that also has a balancing machine and tire mounting contraption. And these are the rims, ready to go on the car. I also have new BMW center caps. Doesn't that just look proper and beautiful? I aligned the emblem with the valve stem cab. Front wheel. Even an idiot like me knows the difference. Now, the issue I had with the previous set of rear wheels was the offset was so aggressive that the tire was sticking out over the fender. So every time you went over a bump, it just smacked the fender. But now the offset tucks the wheel in and should prevent that from happening now. Here it is outside. I have to say, this looks pretty fantastic. All right, moment of truth. Let's see how they drive. I'm hoping for absolute smoothness down the highway. No bent wheels, nothing, none of that. Smoothness. Yeah, so upon driving the car on the highway, I immediately realized the car was not driving smoothly at all. Now, there's a bit of a long story to this, so allow me to explain. The wheels and tires wouldn't balance properly. I've been back and forth to my local tire shop many times, I think 3 or 4 times, to try and get them to balance out correctly, and my efforts have been unsuccessful. The tire shop said that my front right tire was possibly bad, which is what was causing the vibrations, so I had Tire Rack send me a new tire to replace that old one. So the tire shop mounted the tire, and that did absolutely nothing. No matter what I had my local tire shop do, I couldn't get them to balance out correctly. After replacing that front tire, I came to the conclusion that the issue here is the wheels. And considering that they're aftermarket, that seems like a real possibility. So unfortunately, even though they look awesome, I'm gonna have to send them back. The car simply doesn't drive how I want it to, and I'm gonna rock the OEM wheels. As I just mentioned, I am sending these wheels back, unfortunately, but that leaves me with the tires here without wheels to go on. Unfortunately, these do not fit on Style 230 rims, which are the OEM rims for my car, so I have no use for them. So I am selling them. If anyone is interested in these tires, they are Michelin Pilot Sport all season. The fronts are 235, 40, 18, and the rears are 265, 35, 18. They've got about 1,000, 1,500 miles on them. They're brand new. So if you are interested in buying the tires from me and you're in the Louisville, Cincinnati, somewhere in the Midwest area, feel free to drop a comment or hit me up on Instagram. I think my Instagram is in the description. I think so. I think it is. Yeah, probably. After painting the front bumper, I purchased some ceramic coating so I can protect the front bumper's new paint and allow the water to bead off and hopefully prevent bugs from sticking to it as badly. All right, now I'm going to clean off any contaminants that I might have missed during the wash. Now, when you're doing ceramic coating, you're supposed to clay bar the surface first and then polish it. However, this is fresh paint, so I'm not going to go ahead and do that. Ceramic coating from Geon. Now, bear with me, I have never done this before, so I'm not looking for perfection here. I just want water and stuff to bead off of the bumper and at least protect the new paint at least a little bit. Right, on to the next thing. These side marker lights are looking faded and ugly, so we're going to replace them. Here are the replacements. These are genuine BMW units. Anything other than genuine BMW for this is unacceptable in my opinion. People who put blacked out, aftermarket LED ones, it just makes the car look like shit. So we are installing good ones here. Oh, these are plastic. Interesting. Okay. Well, that was painless and easy. Woo! Ooh, don't let that fall in. Otherwise, you're cooked. Here's the old one. Here's the new one. All right, that's a lot cleaner. Plugged in. Oh, there we go. That was very easy. Doesn't that just look so much better? Way nicer than stupid aftermarket. Excellent. Let's check to make sure they work now. Oh, look at that. Excellent. What about the other one? Yep. As you've probably deduced from what I just said and my previous videos if you watch them, I hate modifications to my cars that are not OEM. However, I will concede this is one exception to that rule. The OEM halogen or whatever bulb that BMW uses for the halo lights, frankly, I think don't fit the car. This car has bi-xenon adaptive headlights, which give off a white projection of light. Combine that with the welcome lights on the doors, which are LEDs, and the rear lights, which are LEDs for the license plate and the reverse lights. It doesn't make sense to me why BMW used an ugly yellow halo from the factory. Today we're going to replace those with these bulbs. They're from Ziza. Apparently they are good quality, so hopefully that will freshen up the front of the car. See, look at that. Don't the orange ones just kind of, I mean, they look cool. They look very, or like you just walked into the gates of heaven or whatever, and it's like an orange color, I don't know, angels. Guess that's why they call them angel eyes, but I don't know. I think it would be better if it just matched everything. I do not understand why people rip apart all this stuff here and just put a bunch of garbage in it. I mean, this car doesn't go to the track. I'm just like, there's no reason to give it more power. It's already got plenty. Good unit. Alrighty, let's open up the little door right here. Scheisse, man. Yes. Haha. Take it off. Oh man, I apologize for the shutter speed in like the last, I don't know, 10 minutes of footage. I'm messing with the camera trying to get the settings right. Oh, I see. Come on out. Come on, you vicious thing. Alright, now I believe I'm supposed to unplug this. Okay, I think that's what I'm supposed to do. Here's the old one. This is the new assembly right here. This little box that my hand is in, that's to trick the computer, just so the car thinks that the right bulb is in, but actually it's not. This little thing plugs into the connector. This is not sure what it is, and the actual bulb itself right here, which screws into the old slot. Gotta have like ninja fingers to get this in. I literally cannot grab that. That's crazy, dude. My hand just doesn't fit. Like, it does not fit in here. Like, I cannot get it to... Oh, I'm a genius. But I freaking got that in there. Wow. Okay, now how do I tighten the thing? My hand is just too big. Like, I need midget hands. This is just impossible. Did I just make progress? Oh my God, did I just do it? I guess it's in. Like, I mean, I just want to make sure it's in all the way. All right, I'm going to call that on. All right, now this has got to plug in to here. All right, let me just make sure it works after having done all that. Oh my God, it does. Look at that. That is pretty spiffy, don't you think? This has to be shoved in here. That can get shoved down in there. Now I'm gonna zip tie these together so they don't fly around everywhere. All right, let's put that part down there. That part can go here. Cover. Yes! No warning lights on the dash. Alrighty, let's take care of the other side now. Grab the wires carefully because they're very old. Okay, I think it went on, mostly. All right, I think that's on there. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, there's nothing you can do about this one being more dim than this one over here because it's one bulb that projects the light and the light just travels through the ring. Kind of like light travels through water almost, and it just goes through the whole area, but it's of course going to be brighter at the source. So there's nothing you can do about that. It's not like a modern car where there's an LED strip in the entire thing, so it's all even. Okay, here's the setup here. Here's the two boxes that trick the car into thinking there's nothing wrong. This is the old plug-in right there, which the light goes into. Normally this gray part would be slotted into the light with the actual projector, which is down there. But in this case, they just have the projector and it twists into the housing right there, just like the old one does. Once we're done, all of this will get put into there and the door will get put back on. Those two boxes that trick the computer, they kind of just fell down in there where there's a bunch of extra room, and then there's the plug, and now the door just goes right back on here. Interesting, that's as good as it's gonna get. Oh, there we go. Boom, let's check again to make sure there's no warning lights or anything. Here's how they look now without the lights on. It is kind of unfortunate that the inner ones are always gonna be brighter than the outer ones, but it's just, it is what it is. Several videos back, I did a complete brake job on the car, replacing the rotors and pads. For some reason, the kit came with 2 front brake sensors, but no rear sensor. The sensor is different in the rear, so I ordered that one separately, and I'm going to install that. It's gone. It's gone. It has disappeared forever. Compressed air. Come out. Why has it just disappeared? Finally. Stupid freaking thing. Here is the sensor. Plugged in, boom, attach that. Now I think I can put back the fender liner. Okay, let's see if I can route up this sensor here. That is the sensor free, the old one that is. Now I can finally clip in the new sensor. There we go. All right, now I need to remove the old one that I zip tied. The new sensor is installed. All right, good, we can put the wheel back on now. If you guys remember in a previous video, I noticed that this underbody panel right here was slightly crispy and worn out. I noticed that this flap right here was on the verge of falling off, and I mentioned that it would need to be replaced. So I have its replacement right here. Why couldn't they just use a screw there? That would have been so much better. I'm gonna see if my spare will fit there. Nice, okay. All right, I mean, that ain't going anywhere, but I think I'm gonna order those rivets just to make everything complete. And with that, we're going to conclude this episode. At this point, the car is pretty much completely gone over, cosmetically and mechanically sorted and restored to exactly how I want it. There's really nothing else that I want to do to this car other than just drive it and enjoy it. It is pretty unfortunate what happened to those wheels, or what happened with the wheels, because I bought them assuming that they were going to be the thing that would transform the car, the look of the car, the drive of the car, while simultaneously mending the 2 front wheels that were bent. By the way, those wheels are slightly bent, like a tiny bit. They're really not that bad. I was just super anal and wanted to get fresh wheels on it. Anyway, at this point, there's really nothing else to do. But anyway, sometimes you get unlucky. Maybe I got a bad batch. Maybe Apex wheels suck. I don't know. A lot of people are very happy with their Apex wheels. And I've actually purchased aftermarket wheels in the past and I've had great results. So I don't know. Maybe I just got bad ones and they're just bad. I don't know. Anyway. They're getting sent back. But with everything else I've done to this car is extremely well sorted now, mechanically and cosmetically. There's really nothing else that I want to do to the car and or the car needs. At this point, it's time to just enjoy the car, drive it, put miles on it. So I wouldn't anticipate any more videos coming out anytime soon on this car unless something breaks, which I guess is a possibility because it is a 20-year-old BMW. But anyway, I will probably do one more video in the future, however, that I can be certain of. I will do a ownership cost video on this car. This car has been extremely well maintained by its previous owners. Anytime something broke or any maintenance that needed to be done, it was taken care of immediately and mostly serviced at the BMW dealer. So I think it'd be a really good video to go through all the records and really tally up how much it costs to actually maintain one of these long term correctly, not neglect things. Like everything that broke on this car was taken care of. So I think that'll be a good video. But yeah, other than that, that's pretty much the end of this little mini series in restoring and fixing up this car and upgrading it. So if you guys watched all the videos, I really appreciate you guys tuning in, and thank you so much for watching. Just waiting for the air compressor to go off. It's hot in here.